Namaste. Today I will talk to you about Setu Bandhasana in Hatha Yoga. The meaning of the word Setu Bandha is that Setu means bridge and Bandha means tie. So this asana resembles the shape of a bridge, and that is why it is called as Setu Bandhasana. Let me come to the benefits of this asana. In this asana, the entire back muscles, starting from the calf muscles, thighs, gluteal muscles, lower back, upper back, the shoulders and the neck, all the muscles on the back of the body are strengthened. Therefore, it is very beneficial for improving the strength of the back. The second benefit of Setu Bandhasana is on improving the lung capacity. As this asana expands the ribs, it opens up the intercostal muscles and thereby improving the capacity of the lungs. Third benefit of Setu Bandhasana is on calming the nervous system. While performing this asana, the chin and the chest touches, which is called the Jalandhara Bandha. Due to this bandha, the effects on the nervous system are very beneficial. It helps to calm the nervous system. It also stimulates the thyroid glands. These are the main benefits of Setu Bandhasana. People who have got problems like cervical spondylosis, ulcers in the stomach, or hernia, these people may avoid doing this asana or go very mild while performing the same. Now, let me explain to you how to perform this asana. So, I start from Sthiti Shavasana. From Shavasana position, I inhale, take both the arms over the head, keep it on the ground parallel to each other, stretching it upward. While exhaling, I join the legs and point the toes downward. So initially the entire body is stretched upwards and downwards. Now with an inhalation, I bend both the legs and keep them in shoulder distance close to the hips. With an exhalation, I bring both the arms down and bring it close to the legs. If it's possible to catch the ankles, we need to catch the ankles. If you cannot catch the ankles, we can just keep the hands on the floor. After doing this much, with an inhalation, catching this ankle, I lift the hips in the air like a bridge. So I come up into this position, keeping the arms tight, keeping the hips as high as possible, and maintain slow rhythmic breathing in that position. After taking about 3 to 5 breaths in this position, while exhaling, I bring the hips back on the mat. While inhaling, I release both the legs one by one and exhale to Shavasana position. Now I'll perform this asana with the proper breath control. that completes Setubandhasana. Beginners may keep the palm on the floor and perform the same asana. Now let me talk to you about the important points to be noted in Setubandhasana. The first important point is regarding the distance between the legs. When you fold the legs and bring it close to the hips, keep them at shoulder distance. Do not keep the legs together or close to each other like this. You have to keep it little away from each other so that we can catch the ankles with the hands. The second important point is on the grip. So do not grip the ankles loosely like this. Try to grip the ankle firmly. When the grip is good, the hips can be lifted properly in the air. Using the grip of the ankle, the hip has to go up. So ensure that you catch the ankles firmly and not loosely like this. Another important point in Setubandhasana is the rolling of the shoulder. So when we lift in Setubandhasana like this, the shoulders should be rolled down towards the center. When you do that, the lift of the Setubandhasana is effective. If you keep the shoulders wide like this, you will not get proper stretch. So ensure to roll your shoulders downward so that the lift comes more effectively. Another important point is when you lift up, do not lift the heel in the air. The heel should be grounded and the effect of the asana has to come on the back. So do not lift the heels up. The chest comes and touches the chin, which is called the Jalam Dharabandha, due to which the thyroid glands are activated and you get that calming the nervous system effect. Also, while standing in this asana, never turn the neck to either sides, especially when you are doing an online class. Never look at the teacher or the screen. If you do that, your neck may sprain. The drishti in this asana is on the nose, tip of the nose. The breathing in this asana is slow ujjayi breath. You can see how the stomach moves up and down while doing this asana, activating the lung capacity. Now let me recap the important points of Setubandhasana. The asana is very good for improving the strength of the back, improving lung capacity and calming the nervous system. While practicing the asana, keep the legs in shoulder distance, grip the ankles firmly. Also ensure that we don't turn the neck while practicing this asana. Effort should be done to roll your shoulder down, keeping the chin and the chest together and increasing the height of the hips. Ensure to do proper rhythmic slow ujjayi breaths, looking at the tip of the nose. When you follow all these important tips of Setubandhasana, all the benefits will come to you. Keep practicing. Namaste.